mentioned earlier that carbohydrates don't bother you that much. They bother you in this country.
Spent a year investigating a horrible secret. Tens of thousands of foster care children, even infants, given powerful mind-altering drugs and at times in doses and combinations considered too risky even for adults. And remember this statistic. Foster children are given these potent drugs at an alarming 13 times the rate of other children. Tomorrow, a government GAO report will paint a portrait of a grotesque failure to protect foster children. But over the past years, so many of them have come forward to us to tell us about their lives, young kids living sometimes as sleepwalkers, sometimes reeling out of control.
These are the meds that I've been taking since I was 4. 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13.
Lexapro. The last one is Abilify. All their medications, they made me feel as if I had 1,000 bricks on my head.
They are tiny witnesses who came out of the shadows to tell and show us the mountain of potent drugs, antidepressants, antipsychotic drugs they were given in America's foster care system.
I was just a zombie.
Keep in mind, these are children who've already been dealt a hand from hell in homes of neglect and abuse, bounced from foster home to foster home.
I were in 28 homes. I felt sad because no one would keep me or love me.
Consider the case of 7-year-old Brooke, taken from a drug-addicted mother, just 43 pounds, but given 5 mind-altering drugs at the same time, a combination that is deemed too risky even for adults.
Brooke, you need to get down. Come here, Brooke.
And foster parents who want to help soon learn that if they don't give medications, a child can be taken away.
We were told to put our faith in the system, and that's what we did. No one said the medications could be causing the problem. They kept saying she needs more medications.
But in Brooke's case, one doctor, a psychiatrist, recognized the problem. And Brooke went from this, being weaned off the strongest medications, to this.
No adult should be receiving the drugs that different variety, and certainly not at these ages.
Delaware Senator Tom Carper is holding a congressional hearing tomorrow demanding changes in the foster care system in this country. Parallel to the year-long ABC News investigation, the GAO report, which found in some cases psychotropic drugs were given to infants, even though there is no idea what the long-term effects of these drugs could be on a child's developing brain. And the report found in 5 states alone, out of 100,000 foster kids, 26,000 were on some form of psychotropic drugs. How is it happening?
When you don't have the time, the quick rush to judgment is the answer is a pill.
Michael Perino, prominent child advocate, says these children are issuing a cry for help. When we read that foster kids are medicated up to 13 times more than other kids, is it because they are a more troubled population?
They are troubled, yeah. There is no question that foster kids can be troubled, very troubled. Given what they've gone through, the answer isn't to always try to change their brain chemistry.
Medications that can keep a child from his life. Look at 11-year-old Chianti, prescribed 12 medications over the course of 4 years for conditions doctors now say he didn't have.
I'm not ADHD, I'm just naughty. I am not bipolar at all.
This is footage of Chianti trying to come off these medications. And this is Chianti today. He's in honors classes at school, and he got one prescription that heals beyond imagining. Chianti has been adopted.
Now you're part of the family.
Which takes us back to Brooke. Remember her? She, too, has a permanent hug, a mom, a dad, a home.
Yeah, you hug all the anger out, right? She just hugs and hugs and hugs and gets all the anger out.
So who is responsible? And by the way, your taxpayer dollars are paying for this. Medicaid pays for these drugs. Well, tomorrow I will question the Federal Drug Administration, and Sharon Alfonsi goes out to track down doctors prescribing these medications. And now we turn to Wall Street. And a question, is it possible Santa came early this year, bringing the kind of super...
Smith, Senator.
So this is
I imagined having conversations like that. And back in 2005, I actually started to try to set something in motion to take on a foster child, some sort of adoption situation, and besides the fact that I didn't have money and it probably wouldn't have gone anywhere, but I imagined having, arguments with, the authority, the powers that be over something like that, when it's, would anyone doubt that, I would have the best interest of the child in mind, and from the best place of love and healing, be able to help a child. But because of the idiots, because of the money and the system as it is, I could foresee things like that happening and having a child taken away from me. And then not to mention, of course, look at what Jane has done to me. So when people go looking into, your past record or whatever you call it, these are the kind of things that it doesn't just affect me. And I ended up reading the police report I picked up today, and I guess it's trying to be as objective as possible, but honestly, I have to ask the Yorktown Police, how many times is someone allowed to call in a false police report? I mean, if she was truly afraid of me, then the police report would have read as follows: based on some misunderstanding from 2007, she's worried for this reason, XYZ. But she still tries to go back to 2007 as if I just started acting, flying off the handle, or acting, talking about violent fantasies, and as if that's, her reason for writing. Like in other words, what the police need to do is when she calls, ask her, how did this start? And then when she tries to skirt it with complications, just say, no, focus. What specifically made you call the police to try to paint a picture of this woman as a dangerous person? Because that word has followed me around all these years, has stopped me from being able to make a career, to put to use a huge monetary investment into my life by other people. It's taken a toll on relationships, and we have to keep pretending that I'm crazy. Why? Just so Jane doesn't have to confront the fact that she's a liar, and in fact has broken the law by filing all these false reports. Not one is based on any truth, and yet they allow her to keep doing it. So I have to figure out some way to stop that.